This TikTok fucking ban is legit. I felt like it was all, for show.
It's part of the aid bill,
which is weird.
Zelensky gets another 20B.
It's just like, what's everyone talking about? TikTok? All right, here, let's pass this TikTok bill and we'll stuff 20 Bs in there for Zelensky.
How much money does this guy need? I've kind of talked to a few people. They all think it's going to Supreme Court and it's not going to happen.
What this actually is taking a hot topic that a lot of people seem to be passionate about and stuffing 20 Bs for old Vlad in there.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right. I just got to say, it's already been established that we're the number one podcast in the world. And I guess it makes sense. I guess I shouldn't even really be celebrating here, but we're creeping up on, also becoming the number one YouTube channel in the world.
Yep.
This thing is just a rocket ship. So I keep telling you guys, like, I mean this, like, the main reason why we enjoy YouTube for you guys to check it out, of course, the video element is cool, but also the comments. There's always just really funny comments. People think I'm a Trump supporter. It's just, we don't get that from like Spotify. And I understand a lot of you just listen on Spotify. It makes total sense, but check out YouTube if you're a YouTube type of person. Make sure you leave a comment, because that's the funny, we really enjoy. Once again, I know I'm kind of getting repetitive here, but that's what we like so much about the live shows is like you hear the audience laugh, or you hear them groan, or you hear them whatever. And it's really fun for us to be able to have that more like conversational type of thing. Whereas with the pod, of course, we're talking to each other, but we don't really hear the reaction. So fun to hear the comments. You guys are funny. Everyone loves to talk shit. We have a real shit talky audience, which I love. Everyone has their favorite person. They talk about woke on it or Trump drama, or, D's alt-right, or whatever it may be. So,
or Jesus sociopath with the $20 Nobu shenanigan.
And I will tell you that
I got a lot of DMs for that.
I did too. And also my trainer listens to the pod. He also told me that he has made a pretty significant amount of money following our investing advice, even though this is not investment advice. But he he's in on Bitcoin and the S&P and some things. And, I went into the gym one day and he was showing me like the, I think it's the whatever, Philip Morris, who has Zyn? Philip Morris?
Philip Morris, it's on fire.
Right. And he was showing me the Philip Morris stock and he's like, look at this and blah, blah, blah. But he yesterday told me a story about a friend of his that stiffed him. And he's like, I have my own D. Everyone's got a D in their world. Everyone's, quote
everyone's getting
loaned
stiffed.
somebody a few bucks and never seen it again.
And can we get an update on your parents? Are they coming in Sunday?
Yeah, they're here. The goal is to have them come in Sunday. They're here till next week. They're happy as can be. I'll tell you.
What are you guys doing? What's like? I know they've been here a bunch. So like,
that's the thing.
What do they enjoy doing when they come here, other than spending time with you?
Right. Here's what I do now that is really, I'm really happy with how this has worked out. Is, for me, my parents don't live here. Obviously, they've never lived here, but they have been here a lot of times. And so like, they don't come here like, I want to go to Disney. I want to go to Universal City Walk. They don't care. They just want to hang out with us. And, I do think it's cool how like you guys with your parents or anyone whose parents live here are able to just kind of hang out. They go over to your house, you go over to theirs, whatever. So The new thing that I started doing last year, and I did it again this year, is got them an Airbnb over in Studio City. So it's really close. It's great. There's a little hot tub and a little, it's still a little vacation-y. But so far they've just wanted to just hang out and, watch TV and talk about what's going on. My brother's taken them for a few. They have went and drove Mulholland or stuff like that just to kind of take in the sights. But at this point, they've been here enough times. They've done Hollywood and Highland. They've done all that stuff. And so it actually, for a week, it just kind of feels like my parents live here.
Yep.
And, I'm getting my work done. And then at night I'm going over and just hanging out with them. And it's pretty cool. And it feels, it also selfishly feels much less, I don't have to be like a tour guide. You can just kind of go hang out, and it's been really
you might
great.
do some sugarfish. You might do.
Yeah. They
those
love
things.
like, Paquito Moss and Good Neighbor over there on Ventura Boulevard. The people at Good Neighbor, I don't know if you know Good Neighbor, but it's a little breakfast kind of family owned spot, and they know them now. So because they go there every time they come here. So they go there, they feel like it's like their local breakfast spot.
No, that's awesome.
It's great. So it's a little piece of if they lived here. And it's nice. It's nice to have parents around.
That's great. Let's try to get them Sunday.
Yeah, I think that is probably the only, celebrity stop they want to make. They talked about maybe trying to go to a filming of Jimmy Kimmel. My brother was going to try to do that, but more so, they're more excited about a filming of Group Chat. So they have their priorities correct.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd love to chat with them and see what's going on in the heartland.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of questions we've had on the pod that some I've got answers to, but a lot I haven't. It'd be fun to do like our bubble, bubble versus heartland.
Yeah, de-stealing money at Nobu Malibu is different than their bubble.
Right. Like I want to know, have they noticed any less traffic at TGI Fridays? That's the Nobu of Akron, Ohio. So what's Olive Garden looking like? Are the breadsticks flowing, or are things tightening up? I want to know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it'll be fun. Hopefully they come.
Yeah, I think they will. Okay, news.
Let's get into it.
All right, first news we have today is, and this is really kind of in line with our Nobu topic a little bit, as far as like demand for nice, expensive dinners. There are people in New York that are selling restaurant reservations on the secondary market. So picture the same way you would do with a hot pair of Jordans or the new Yeezys. You would buy them and resell them at a markup. They're doing that with restaurant reservations, and there's people making $70,000 to $80,000 a year just getting these reservations and upselling them.
Yeah, so I think they're going on Resi, they're getting the reservation, and then they resell them on whatever market platform, which is unclear. That's what I want to know.
Like, where's that happening?
Yeah, where's the platform? Is it on eBay? Is it on TikTok? Is it on...
Yeah.
But either way, good for them. They should be able to do it.
It's a good hustle. I just don't understand. Like, apps already exist, like Resi. I just don't understand, but it shows you how hot that demand is. I mean, we're not just, once again, it's another thing of like, don't tell Jay Powell, but this is absurd.
No, but I think the thing is, it's like 5 p.m., one of your friends or someone flies in and they're like, hey, we want the Carbone reservation. Let's try to go there last minute. You can't get that unless you're like friends with the owner. So the secondary market makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. I'm just curious. I'm so curious. Where's the black
think
market?
about, I don't know how you plan like dinners with friends and stuff, but we're pretty last minute.
I'm very last minute.
It's like, hours before. We're not planning like 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah, I even have trouble because, Brian will always take such good care of us at his places. But a lot of times I'm too last minute even for that. Like he's got to have a little advance, usually, unless you're D once again. And you're like, I'm here. I'm at the door. Give me a table.
And I'm not paying.
Right. I have no wallet. I'm at the door. Give me the best seat in the house. But yeah, I'm last minute too. I'm curious where. Like, do these guys have like a pop-in, like an Instagram page that everyone just knows and you DM them? Like, where does this happen?
Yeah, no, I respect the hustle. I think it makes sense that secondary markets exist for all aspects of commerce, whether it's shoes, restaurant reservations. It just checks out.
It does. But it shows that people got money.
Yeah.
Because not only are you taking that reservation, but you're taking Carbone, which is not a cheap dinner, but you're also paying a premium.
Yeah, you're paying some kid $500 to get the reservation.
Right. To the fucking Benjamin Kicks of reservations, Ricky reservations. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Okay, how about this? This is a really good one. This is my favorite topic of the day. So we have been talking, especially a lot on the last episode, about all of this Ukraine aid and, essentially saying that if middle America knew, they couldn't even wrap their heads around it. But even us, who knows? If we knew how that money's actually getting divvied up, it would blow people's minds. There's a lot of yachts being bought and a lot of partying being done and a lot of stuff not, to defeat Putin or defend democracy. CBS News is saying that the Kyiv bar scene has just been on fire with this Ukraine money. I mean, there's just money flowing. So new bars are opening, new venues, just nightlife. I mean, as you would imagine. So it's not only, a handful of little, Zelensky and his close circle. It's enough that it's affecting the nightlife scene in Kyiv, directly related to this taxpayer money.
Yeah, they say there's more bars and nightclubs that have been opened post U.S. aid.
I'm sure
this is
you can feel
CBS.
it.
This isn't Fox News. This isn't like,
right. Daily Wire.
Yeah, this isn't Truth Social.
Right. InfoWars. Yeah. But I mean, we're not talking about like, I would expect like Dubai, there's a couple ballers from Ukraine that came over and are spending, but like, this is just the nightlife scene and opening new venues. And just, I would imagine if you live there, there is a sense of just money's pouring in.
and we have no accounting of it. I don't get it. I mean, I think both parties are, responsible for this stuff because you can't get this bill passed if you don't have some Republicans.
Yeah.
And this clearly has been going on for decades.
Yeah.
But now it's in our face. And I don't know how to wrap my head around it where we're just like, yeah, who cares if 30, 40 billion is just stolen from us?
I think the thing, and I think this is the thing in a lot of areas, is this is just normal, I think. I think this is just how it goes. We've always sent money. I mean, think about all the like military equipment and things that we left in Afghanistan.
Yep.
We've always done like wild shit with money. I just think now you hear about it because I don't think 10, 15 years ago, any mainstream media reports this. I don't think they dare. I think CBS and those people are now having to, do some more real stories, but we hear about it on Twitter. We hear about it from, these smaller journalists. But I think if you're in the government and you're one of the ones signing off on this bill, I don't think anything's different. You're just surprised that people care all of a sudden.
But here's the curiosity of this, because the people that are legislating the bills, outside of the top few people that make millions outside of office, doing speaking engagements and whatnot, that you just like consciously are like, yeah, this is fine. You're making your couple $100 grand, but hey, Zelensky, here's 30 billion for your yachts in Saint-Tropez.
Yeah. I think you're just used to it. I think it's how it's always been. And they're used to it. Like the people before them did it. It's just part of that culture. I think the thing that has changed is now people are actually finding out about it. But I bet you they just know that. I mean, think about how wild we've been as far as like overthrowing governments, putting in our own people. Like we have just had our way with the rest of the world, except for a couple exceptions. And I think they're so used to it. I think this is what's been going on.
They're like, as long as I could do insider trading, I'm fine.
Yeah. I think if you went back to every like stimmy that we've given a foreign government, they all probably look insane.
Oh, 100%. Now that we've seen this in kind of full transparency, I can't imagine what happened in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I mean, look, I don't want to open a can of worms because I don't know enough about it, but I have seen people saying that it's our funding and aid to Iran and to these different countries that are directly giving resources to the war and the trouble with Israel. Like it seems like there's a chance, and I'm sure we've done this in the past if we're not doing it now, that we have sort of paid for our own enemies.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear post Osama bin Laden that the funding to Afghanistan created Al Qaeda.
Yes.
I don't think that's debatable anymore.
Right. I'll tell you what, what's it called? Oh yeah, there's a documentary, like a 5-part documentary on Netflix called Turning Point. There's 2. One's about the Cold War, not as good. There's one about 9/11. It is incredible. Like it shows you like how Al Qaeda came to be, the attacks of 9/11, what happened, how we responded, the fact that we went to Iraq when we didn't need to, the fact that we had the war in Afghanistan won before we pivoted to Iraq and then had to go back to Afghanistan. Like it is so good. But yeah, like we essentially, at least Zelensky and them right now are only buying yachts and babes, as Dee put it, as opposed to funding a militia that will ultimately be our enemy.
So if you want to play full kind of gamut on this, is that the cost of just being the world supremacy?
I think it's more the result.
Like now that we know, obviously there's so much leakage in all the aid. Yeah. I think we all suspected it. I think social media age kind of discovered it in actual detail.
Yeah.
And this is why we get to be in America and say whatever we want, be on a podcast, walk around free,
right,
and not worry about wars. Is that the price?
The way I put it is I look at it a little different, which is that it's more the result of unchecked, insane wealth. It's like if you went to, for instance, we know some stories here in LA, there's no shortage of them, of billionaires with wild spending things. Let's just say we know people who have multiple penthouse apartments all around the city and homes for bays.
Yep.
Right. I think to a normal person, that looks absurd. That looks like wild spending absurd. I think that it just happens. I think if Daily Mail did an article about it, they'd be like, oh shit, this is kind of crazy. Let me tighten it up. I just think when you have that, like, I think it shows how powerful and wealthy we really are compared to the rest of the world. We can just do insane shit. And there's just what are the repercussions? Who's going to yell at us? If no one's going to check you, you're just going to keep going and doing more and more ridiculous shit. I mean, look at our debt. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I guess my point was basically, have we had this kind of ethos the last, multiple decades that, hey, we just keep spending money around the world so no one messes with us because we're America. We give you money. Everyone has to respect America. That's all it is, right?
Yeah. But I think I think people have actually had the resources to mess with us because of our spending. And I think we still don't care because who cares? We're just going to go fuck you up anyway. Like it's like, okay, great. So what are you going to do? We're going to give you money. You're going to become an issue for us. And then we're going to make more money going to beat the shit out of you. And then we're going to have more money. And then we're going to give out more money. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
There's no tricky. Chickens coming to roost, as they say. And I don't know where does it actually catch up? Because yes, the national debt is so absurd, but it's like we're still so far ahead of everyone else.
This is what I want to talk to your parents about, right? So they're in Ohio, they're in the heartland.
Yep.
are, friends of theirs understanding how much money is being stolen from American aid to the pockets of rulers around the world?
Yeah, we should ask them. I don't know. It depends on what news they read. Like last night, my dad was like, "Oh, they're building a train from Vegas to Rancho Cucamonga,"
LA.
and I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then he started rifling off all these things about building trains, like that government regulations let you put trains next to the highway as long as there's no obstruction, and if you he goes down these YouTube rabbit holes. So it really depends what rabbit holes he's been down. But it's a great question. And I'm curious also what their friends think. Like, do they talk about it at dinner? I don't know.
Because it's now very transparent. The money's being stolen.
Yeah. But also, I don't think, I think there's a large portion that doesn't know, but I do think that
And I'll be clear, if there was a Republican administration, the aid would go the same.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, Republicans aren't they majority, not voters, but
yeah, they're more war hawks.
Yeah. This is my only point though, is this type of awareness is what led to Trump getting elected.
Mm-hmm.
So even some of it was fake, but there is some awareness in middle America that, I don't know. I'm just curious. We should ask him. This will be a good question.
Yep.
Anyway, if you're looking for some hot nightlife, Kyiv, that's where you go. They should do Delilah Kyiv.
Delilah Kyiv would be hot. Brian's sitting at a pool right now, listening.
Yeah. Brian, think about it. There's a lot of money headed that way. Okay, next up, stock market. It's earnings time, earnings season. A lot of earnings coming in, a lot of interesting things happening. I think, the main thing to highlight here is Tesla. Tesla's been having some trouble. Their deliveries were down. They've laid off a bunch of people. There's been a lot of bad, press and things that just don't look great. And so all of a sudden, Tesla was at one point one of the most shorted stocks, or the most shorted stock on the market. And, those shorts started piling up again. There's just so many people that don't believe Tesla can work or believe that it's wildly overvalued. And so the shorts started coming in again. Tesla did their earnings yesterday. Their earnings weren't actually that great. There was some optimistic stuff. They shared a screenshot of their one day, what will be their essentially Uber. They talked about 2025, a price conscious car coming to the market. They talked about things coming, but actual deliveries and earnings and those things weren't great. That being said, Tesla is up. Let me just check as of right now, 12% today.
So Tesla missed on pretty much everything.
Right.
They missed on earnings. They missed on revenue. They missed on deliveries. They missed and the stock's up 12%. And then Meta, Facebook, beat on everything and is down 11%.
Right. Makes total sense. And these short sellers just got screwed. I mean, it says there's 1.6 billion loss today. I don't get, other than insider trading, I mean, this is why nobody beats the market. But how do you, I mean, there's no method to that.
No, there's no method to the madness. I think what we've kind of discovered is technical trading, which is basically watching the shorts versus who's long, and matters way more than fundamentals.
Right.
So GameStop, for example, ran up because of technicals, not because of fundamentals.
Yep. And
over the long run, 10, 15 years, yes, fundamentals are going to work. But if you're the way we trade right now, I mean, 0-date options are 50% of the market at this point.
Yeah.
Meaning you're betting single day whether a stock's going to go up.
Right.
And you have that 12-hour window or whatever it is.
Right.
To figure out if the stock's going to go up or not. And I think that's the problem. But I still believe over the long run, great companies will be great companies and they'll deliver profits. But if you're in the market for short term, it's similar to crypto, which I've always said. If you're trying to trade within 3 months, 6 months, a year, you probably lost your shorts.
Yep.
But if you look over a 10-year period, you would have made a fortune.
Right. Right. It's why, and once again, we don't give investing advice, but it's why almost nobody beats the index, the market index. And you're right. I mean, a little bit of that Warren Buffett, like if you believe in the company long term, buy it and plan to hold it for 10 years at a minimum. If you think you're going to Davy day trader and you think you're just not. It's just fucking crazy. I mean,
it's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's gambling. It's putting the Lakers Nuggets. Right. I think the Lakers are going to win or the Nuggets going to win.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's all it is. Okay. It's wild. How about this? California, who, you know, I don't know how you feel exactly. I know you're a little easier on this than I am, but just can't get anything right, in my opinion, recently. And California is kind of like a little bit of how the U.S. is at the moment, but like way more, even more extreme. Like you have everything going for you. You know, like California is just fucking the best state. When you're talking weather, geography, I mean, it's just great. But they just do everything wrong. And the new thing is they want to ban Clear. So Clear at airports is, we all have it. It's, I'm sure everyone who's traveled it in the last 5 years has seen it. Little kiosk, you essentially sign up for the membership, you scan your fingerprint and you skip the line and you go right to, you know, there's an agent who takes you right to the security and you go right through the scanner. It's great. It's not like insane. Number one, it's not insanely priced. And number two, it's also not like you don't skip everything. You just skip the line waiting to go into security. It's cool, and it's definitely, I would recommend everyone get it, but it's not some sort of like wild skip everything elite experience. That being said, California wants to ban it to be more equitable so that they just want everyone to be the same here.
I think it's ridiculous on many reasons. So we should ban private jets. That's not fair. Right. You shouldn't be able to make reservations. No, you shouldn't be able to. Every table at every restaurant should be exactly the same. You got to ban first class. So everything's a coach seat.
First class gone. I would say everyone should drive Priuses.
There's a line in the airport. It's TSA. And then there's if you're a first class or business class passenger.
Yeah.
And there's Clear.
Ban it. Not equitable.
Ban it all.
Yeah. I think.
So you can't pay for experiences is what California is saying. It's one of the dumbest things I've seen.
Fast pass at Disneyland should go to jail.
Ban it. Lock them up.
Lock them up. Elitist pigs.
I don't get how this is even a topic of conversation given how society works. People who pay money extra for experiences.
Right. Or how about the fact that you can't have a house without it getting ransacked at gunpoint? But we're worried about fucking Clear.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's just priorities. It's just like we saw how much, they spent, $20 billion on homelessness. It's rapidly growing. I
think it was 24 billion. Don't forget the 4.
Jesus. People are getting, shot in the chest in their home. Our guy that was just on the pod the other day at home with his kids, people run in with guns. You at home with your kids, homeless man. I mean, and we're talking about Clear.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I really think that there is a very dark mentality in some of these groups. Like, I think there is a hatred for successful or rich people. And I think there's a group that thinks good all of those nice houses are getting broken into at gunpoint. You shouldn't have nice things.
Clear is very interesting because why didn't you start with TSA PreCheck? That costs money.
Is Clear a private thing and TSA PreChecks? Is there any?
Yeah, TSA Pre is part of the airport. Clear is a private enterprise.
That's why.
And then why don't you start with the priority line? Who gets to board first?
Right. You got to get rid of first class. Everything Southwest. It's whatever time you book. That's your boarding number.
You can't get the A class. You pay for the A.
Oh, no. Everyone's group 5 and they just say, we're boarding now. And everyone has to sprint. It's like fucking those old Black Friday videos. Everyone's got to run for the best seat. It's just fucking stupid. We worry about the dumbest things.
And then, God forbid, private suites.
Oh, don't even. If they catch wind of that.
They don't know about it. That's the problem. That's a good thing. They actually have no idea that private suites exist.
Right. If they catch wind of that, there's going to be FBI jackets showing up like a fucking raid. I really do think that I think there are some, not like on some conspiracy shit, but I just think there's some, like, I think the type of shit like Rashida Tlaib talks about, or like, I bet you in private, it's scary. Like, I think it's really dark and like really, like whether it's anti-white or anti-rich, I think it's dark. And I think it's a little scary. I don't think it'll ever I don't think we're going to turn into a fucking socialist, Soviet Union type situation. I don't think that. I think that's pretty dramatic. But I do think there are people that would do that if they could.
And it's frustrating because the people that are making the legislation are of means to enjoy the perks.
Yeah.
And they're just virtue signaling to try to pretend that they don't.
Right,
so like
Gavin
that same
Newsom's
politician
on Southwest
is on a private jet to DC.
Right. But they're different. They have to do it. It's the French Laundry thing. I mean, it's been made fun of too long, but like it's that mentality. AOC's flying private, talking about climate change. All of these people are flying private. You're not. I don't know about you, but I've never been at Southwest and seen a Congress member walk up. They're insider trading. They're doing whatever the fuck they want, but they want us to not have Clear. Well, you're on a private jet. This could have been like approved on a private jet.
Yeah. That Clear thing is ridiculous. Get rid of it. Oh,
you know what's funny? The only person that gets photographed on social media the most on commercial flights, Ted Cruz.
Good guy.
And I'm the wokey. But I noticed that Ted Cruz is always commercially flying.
Yeah, smart. I feel like that's an easy look. I know flying private is amazing, but like an easy, really big win right now
is to just go fly commercial. Do it for 2 years.
Yeah.
You'll be looked at as a fucking hero and then go back to your G6. It's so easy. Totally. It's like right there for the take. You know what I mean? Like if even look what it just did to you. Like normally you have no interest in Ted Cruz. I don't either. But like you do have to like nod your cap at like, well, he's out here with the rest of us, Yeah,
and he's getting harassed on all these planes.
Right.
People are taking videos of him.
And a good visual. Wasn't that a big Milei thing? He was flying commercial.
Think so. The country's hot. Budget
that
surplus.
Guy just trimmed the fat. It's their first budget surplus in 16 years. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
There you go. That's the model. Can you fill me in on your, one of the USC GOATs, Reggie Bush? I saw that he's getting his Heisman from 2005 back, his Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
But what happened? I have no idea. What's the story there?
So he took some, extra, I don't know how to say it, but took some money from an agent. His parents got a house in San Diego.
Right.
And while he was this
Little
like
Zelensky.
superstar.
He took a little Zelensky.
Which is what every athlete is doing now.
Right.
And I think his parents got a house in San Diego. The agent paid for it. He didn't sign with that particular agent. And then the agent basically outed him.
What a bitch.
So people have been being paid for decades in college sports.
Yep.
And a funny story, Charles Barkley was on some podcast. No, he was on Pat McAfee, which is what I watch all the time. He said he was in Barcelona during the Dream Team in 92.
Yeah.
And 96, I think, as well. And he saw Dirk Nowitzki, who obviously won an NBA title, superstar athlete. And he said on Pat McAfee's show, he's like, how much money will it take to get to Auburn? Mm-hmm. And that's where Barkley went. Mm-hmm. So this is not like a weird thing that has been going on in college sports.
Right.
It's like very transparent that everyone got paid and they just want to pretend like people didn't get paid. So he had his Heisman Trophy removed from him. Johnny Manziel, Vince Young, I think Tim Tebow, they all said it's ridiculous. Like, this is how the world worked. I don't know why we're not giving the Heisman Trophy, because you don't get the commercials, the endorsements, because they're all in commercials, right? Like, he's losing a lot of money by not being, quote unquote, a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
And they gave it back to him today. And it should have been it should have happened 10 years ago. It's ridiculous that it took this long. And I went to USC when Reggie Bush was in college playing sports. Mm. And it was the Reggie, Matt Leinart era and Pete Carroll. And it was the most electrifying college experience that you could possibly imagine. Yeah. Our entire weeks in the fall, we're planning what we're doing for the game, what time are we going, and then we get to go watch and see this guy just perform at this like ultra elite level.
Right.
And the amount of money he generated for the university, for Nike, for all these different organizations.
Yeah.
And this guy's parents got a $300,000 house in San Diego, and we had to punish him for 15 years.
Right. It's such a joke. I mean, obviously they're kind of correcting it now with the NIL stuff, but like, it's a joke. I mean, do you think that, like, was that just a case of like trying to, like, you had to make an example out of somebody and they chose him?
They want to make an example out of USC in particular, and Pete Carroll left to go to the Seahawks, and Leinart went to the NFL, and everyone just USC had a bullseye on their back, right? So they'd won 2 national titles. They almost won a third in a row, which I don't know if it's ever been done. And people just want to take them down.
Right.
So you have all these like local writers investigating everything. How do they have all this stuff? Why is Reggie Bush an Escalade? Why is Mike Williams an Escalade? Like, I mean, this was happening all over the country.
I remember I have a photo when I was like, however old, I guess probably 16, next to LeBron's mom's big yellow Hummer.
Yes.
Because that thing was just cruising around town. And that was, that made news.
Yeah. And like the money was so small compared to what they were generating.
Yeah. It's just a joke.
The athletes were actually taken advantage of, if you think about it.
Right.
Because
incredibly.
You get a couple $100,000, but you're generating tens of millions of dollars.
It's also like torture. Like, how do you take any kid, make them a star, at least, especially in their own little world, but some of it even bigger than that, and give them no money, and then offer them $100,000 and see what kid won't take that?
Of course.
It's literally like torture. It's insane. Like I said, I know it's a little different now, but like, it's so crazy the way it used to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could tell you firsthand, being a USC student at that time, it changed your college experience.
Right.
Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and Pete Carroll changed my college experience.
Right.
Like, think about that.
I mean, how many people
I have nothing to do
directly
with sports.
went to USC because of that era? A lot.
Yes.
Not to mention TV time and all that stuff. It's just crazy. It's like you can see it in that Johnny Manziel documentary where he talks about like, man, I wanted to go to Miami and like, you can't go to Miami on 10 grand. You know, you need, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, dude, you're a celebrity. You're working your fucking ass off. You're making so many people so much money and you expect them to turn down $100,000. It's just, then pay them if you don't want them to do illegal shit.
And this is obviously like 20 years ago. I mean, I was an adult at that time. Reggie and Matt Liner were the biggest stars in LA.
Yeah.
It was Kobe Bryant, Reggie, and Matt.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. And think about, and it's LA. It's arguably the city, number one city in the world you would want to be the biggest celebrity in if you had to choose one.
And they were the
time,
stars.
Especially. Yeah. Yep. Well, hey, at least, I mean, you know, better late than never, I guess, but what a joke. Glad we, you know, glad there's some justice. How about this with justice? This TikTok fucking ban is legit. I mean, I really felt like this was, and it still might be, I felt like it was all, you know, for show. And, you know, it passed in the House and it was like, yeah, whatever. But now, am I correct that it has passed in the Senate, the House? Everyone, it's there. It's approved, right? Or no? Is there one more step?
Yeah, so it's part of the aid bill.
Which is weird.
Zelensky gets another 20B.
Like what? Why'd you stuff it in with that? It's just, we're fucking crazy, man. We are so...
How much money does this guy need?
It's just like, what's everyone talking about? TikTok? All right, here, let's pass this TikTok bill and we'll stuff 20 Bs in there for Zelensky. Heard Kyiv needs a little fucking stimmy. Nightlife is popping.
In all seriousness, is Zelensky as rich as Zuck and Elon at this point?
I mean, richer in terms of this guy has fucking cash.
That's true.
Zuck
Those
and
guys have
Elon
stock.
can't get that cash. They cannot get their hands on that amount of cash. They can't. Their stock would crash.
That's true.
He is richer.
That's crazy.
Yes. It's just, but what's happening with it? So is it through? It's done?
So they signed it. There's 270 days for them to divest. But from everything I've kind of talked to a few people, they all think it's going to Supreme Court and it's not going to happen.
Also, it's going to get passed to Trump.
Well, 270 days is that before election?
Yeah, that's after.
Is that after?
Yeah, we're already fucking, where are we at? We're in April?
We're in April, right? End of April. May's next week.
Yeah, it's like 250. There's like 250 days left in the year. And look, obviously I just, I know for all the YouTubers who think I'm a Trump guy, I know I just assume Trump would win, but I do think like
that's good. That's a good catch.
I do think that like part of the strategy, this is what it reads to me, is we don't actually give a fuck about TikTok. It's probably going to get kicked. It's going to get kicked down the road regardless, whether we deal with it later or Supreme Court squashes it or whatever. What this actually is taking a hot topic that a lot of people seem to be passionate about and stuffing 20 Bs for old Vlad in there.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, look, I have no belief that the Supreme Court's going to ban TikTok.
I don't either. I also don't believe there's any way China there's no way they truly divest. There could be some sort of appeasement.
Like a fake one.
Right. That could happen. They could do that. They could come to an agreement of like, look, just fucking, put this guy Chuck in charge of whatever, and we'll just.
Yeah, because Larry Ellison was supposed to take over when Trump tried to get it banned.
Right. I think there'll be a face. There'll be an American face.
The real misstep is they should have just done it when people really didn't understand it. Yeah. When Trump was there and it's like, get rid of it. Cool. Yeah. Do the fake handoff.
There's no way Biden's doing it. This guy will do anything to try to get young people to like him. They're going to fucking hate him if he bans TikTok. There's no way. It's too risky.
Yeah, because people are saying it's a free speech violation, which is why
and
the
just think
Supreme
about
Court.
the kids that are addicted to, like, you know, I don't know, to use our age, like if the president like destroyed Nickelodeon and then said, please vote for me, you know, like you're taking away, it's bigger than that,
Right.
but it's like these people are spending an ungodly amount of time. And there's a lot of people that sometimes rightfully, sometimes a little crazy, think that they're getting a lot of their information from TikTok. They're getting the real information from TikTok. They're getting citizen journalism on TikTok. I mean, there is like young people who really feel that way. And I think that a president banning it, you really run the risk of, especially their whole thing is young voters, like they're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be going through withdrawal, fucking scratching their neck, like, fuck you. Give me my TikTok. Anyway. Okay. Big news. Saudi Arabia's first alcohol store has opened in Riyadh. This is big.
It's big. It's part of their expansion to try to mirror Dubai and being a tourist destination spot in the Middle East.
Right.
This
what do
has
people
been
do? Like when they
known
go over there for like these Jake Paul fights in Riyadh, all these influencers aren't drinking, or there's like private stashes?
private.
Right.
At every palace, there's drugs, alcohol, you name it.
Right.
And that's where the celebrities are going.
So now they're letting the citizens get wasted.
Now they're trying to make it seem like it's more palatable. I've never been to Saudi, but I've heard like the Cipriani there. The bar's already been built. There's no liquor there.
Right.
So this is like just something that everyone assumes is about to start coming. I know numerous people that have gone to Saudi that have drank their faces off.
Right.
And done everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, they're having all these fights, and no one's...
You really think you can't, like, you're going to bring all these famous people and say no alcohol, no drugs, no booze? Like, give me a break.
Right. But this is great. I mean, it's smart. At the end of the day, it's just smart. I mean, they realize that tourism and entertainment is such a big thing, and you just can't do it without alcohol. I mean, it's just...
We have a mutual friend, won't say his name. He's going to the kingdom in the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to hear his recap.
Is he pretty like plugged in, or?
He's as plugged in as it gets.
Okay, there you go. Well, I can't wait. And that's a big deal. And look, like I said, at the end of the day, my take here is really just they're doing all the right things. I mean, they're obviously making a very conscious effort to do it. I mean, even in the like boxing world, like Riyadh, I just saw a thing on YouTube that was like announcing all the fights coming to Riyadh, this season or whatever. And they're big fights, like they're really investing in entertainment, obviously, and taking over golfing.
Yeah. I think it'll be a destination that they will host very rich people, very famous people, and make sure they have a good time.
They're not banning clear.
No.
No, the whole country is clear. Another topic we've talked about on and off over the last few years, CZ, who is the founder of Binance, looks like he's fucked. I mean, this is really funny because he had a big role in the SBF sort of like exposing. Yep. And then this is what's so fucking crazy. I really underestimate how crazy people are. Like, this guy was like pretty outspoken. Like, he wasn't like secretly in the back corners. He exposed SBF, but you didn't really hear from him. He was this mysterious guy. He was pretty outspoken about the SBF thing and whatever. All along, he was also shady. And now it looks like the guy's going to jail, going to prison.
Yeah, he probably stole 50, 60 billion, if I had to guess, personally.
Why don't you just let him run Ukraine?
That's a good point.
Why two different guys, 60 billion gets, both get stolen.
But when you steal it directly from a federal government versus retail consumers, I think there's a little difference. Like the U.S. knows he's stealing. We talked about how the CIA director went to say steal less.
Right.
We know you're stealing.
To Zelensky, yeah.
To Zelensky.
But CZ
was doing it to customers.
Right. That's the difference. Okay. So there's two different ways to steal 60 billion. And one, you get to run a country, and the other, straight to jail.
Yeah. So the DOJ's recommending 36 months. Let's assume he gets half that. It's unclear if he's getting the Martha Stewart jail or if he's getting real jail.
Right.
And it's a big difference.
I mean, SBF seems a little more than Martha Stewart jail, right?
It looks like real jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet. I mean, why wouldn't CZ go to the same thing? Let them fucking sit together and work on some new NFT project or something.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious which jail they send him to. He's clearly going to jail, whether it's 18 months, 12 months, 36 months. I also don't understand why the U.S. government recommended 30, 40, 50 years for SBF and 36 months when they both committed the same crime.
Right.
Is it because he just shut up and dribbled?
CZ?
Yeah. Like he just didn't rabble rouse. SBF was a little cocky, thinking like he's above the law.
Maybe, but I just feel like CZ kind of like not as cocky as SBF, but like he was fucking like speaking out. Like, why would you say anything if you saw
why
what
would
was
you
happening?
Show up to the country?
Ugh,
why would you show up to the U.S.?
I don't get it.
Like, think about the arrogance of that. You showed up to the U.S. If he stayed in Dubai, he would have kept his 60, 50 billion.
Right.
Chilled out.
And shut up.
Palace. And don't talk.
He was posting and shit. Why are you posting and then coming to the U.S.? He must just be insane.
Especially when you know you've done wrong.
He must just have like a God complex that like.
Well, he was also being praised by every leader of every country.
Right.
Over the last like 6 years.
Right.
And he probably thought, oh, I'm fine. And then he comes to America and they're like, well, you're actually going to jail.
Yeah, life comes at you quick. Imagine the juxtaposition of like how much of a king, SBF too, but how much of a king they were treated like. And then, like I said, I'm not saying that SBF is in San Quentin, but like the photos of his prison photos don't look like.
Yeah, he's not in Martha Stewart jail where you get cable and internet and you just get to like watch TV all day for the next 30 years.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It looks like he could be somebody's bitch. One of those guys in that photo, it looks like he could be their girlfriend, maybe. I don't know. Okay. We got shout outs. We got a lot of shout outs. Let's wrap it up with winners, losers, and content. Who's your winner for the week, Anand?
My winner's Kevin Hart. 60-minute special. Sunday. Just talking about his brand and how big he's gotten. Oh. And I'm a big fan. And I thought it was a great interview. I saw the clips. I didn't see the full interview. But getting a 60-minute special is a big deal.
Yeah.
So shout out to Kevin Hart.
Shout out to Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Very inspiring fella. My winner is Spotify. They had a great earnings. I forgot to talk about it in earnings time. They beat expectations on both top and bottom line. They also, it was talked about, they had multiple rounds of layoffs and things like that. And I just, as a business owner myself, I love seeing these stories play out. I'm sure if you're this size of a company, like announcing that you're doing layoffs probably sucks and probably isn't great for your shareholders, trust and things like that. But it worked out. It worked out. The biggest thing is they reported an operating income of 168 million euros.
Wow.
Compared with a loss of 156 million euros last year, same period. So huge swing. So they're finally profitable. And
That's
it
great,
looks like
because that's a tough business.
very, very tough. We've talked about that a lot. That seemed like for a while, maybe the business just didn't make sense. But it does. They did a great job. So shout out to Spotify. Who's your loser?
My loser in the middle of the NBA playoffs, both ESPN and TNT let their deadline pass for the media rights deal because it's up this year.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I mean, they don't get the viewers. Can't sell the ads.
But what do you do? Like, what do you give me more? Like, what?
Do you want Apple, Amazon, or Netflix to buy it potentially? But whatever number they're quoting, I don't know what the number is. The two owners of the rights are ESPN and TNT.
Right.
And they both passed.
Is it like a first right of refusal type of situation?
Unclear, but they clearly quoted them a number, and now it's a game of chicken on who's going to go lower. It's like the opposite of the NFL problem.
Right. I feel like Amazon should just swoop in here.
But maybe Amazon just like, I'll just wait for these two knuckleheads to keep going lower and lower, and then I'll just do a extra billion.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a good loser. My loser, gosh, I mean, I guess I'll give my loser now that we're close to a week away to Devin Haney. I know we talked about it on Sunday, but now that we're a week in, Ryan Garcia is just on a fucking victory lap, as he should be. Everyone's talking about how he trolled everyone.
He said he made himself look crazy to sell the fight.
Right. He did he did a lot of QAnon conspiracy. He said he went to Bohemian Grove and saw children getting, whatever. He did wild shit. But I also think he is a little crazy. But so here's the point is Devin Haney was supposed to be like the golden child. He was supposed to run through Ryan Garcia. He was the serious guy. He's the religious guy. He kept saying Ryan isn't a good role model for kids. He's going to be undefeated. It was just, the proper buttoned up guy. And you just got the shit kicked out of you by this crazy dude. And now I saw him the other day. He had a shirt on that said RIP Devin Haney, 1995 to 2004 or whatever, 2024. It's just, he lost. He's a loser this week. Maybe he'll come back and be a winner later. But this week, I'm saying by the technical definition, he is a loser. And it's just a week of having to deal with fucking Ryan Garcia on a victory tour. Probably sucks. And he should have done better.
And did Garcia really make $15 million on himself betting? Is that true?
So I heard from someone who was there, who knows him, who saw him at the fight and knows him well, and told me it is 100% true. He bet $2 million. He won $12 million. I still don't believe it because that just seems absurd. Because
what would he have made off the fight?
I don't know, but he said he made a total of $40 million or something. But I have no clue.
Oh, so this guy's rich as shit.
Now he is. This was his biggest fight. The tank fight.
I heard he lives in Porter Ranch.
Really?
Down in the valley where I grew up.
Must have a castle. But he must just be trying to stay out of trouble. But
it's safer. You don't get robbed over there.
True. The
gated community.
Yeah. But also he was the A side on this fight, which means the purses are usually never 50-50 in boxing. There's an A side and a B side. So a 60-40 split. And they gave Ryan the A side, which is pretty wild. So he probably made $8 million or something off of the tank fight, I would imagine. But then this one was probably significantly bigger. So let's just say it was 20. He also paid Devin Haney $1.5 million for missing weight, then bet $2 million on himself, apparently made 12. I mean, it seems like absolute absurdity.
So do you think at the low end he made 30?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, and then the next fight, he's a star now.
Huge.
So this guy's going to clear over $100 million.
I don't know.
In his career.
Yeah, in his career, for sure. He will. If he could win the next fight, I wouldn't be surprised if he had maybe a smaller fight, but if he has his next big fight, if he could win that, he would make so much money. The funny thing is, he shouldn't be winning. Like it's so just to give you an example, I don't know what to even compare it to, but like he's not a very good boxer. He has an insane left hook. It's just the speed of it and the power of it and the way he can find its mark is like an insane God-given talent. But it's almost like a circus act of like, hey, can any of the best boxers in the world beat this guy with a really good left hook? And that's why his odds were so bad. He should not have won, but he won. He beat the shit out of Devin Haney. So Devin Haney, in all of the press and all of the lead up, and Tank did this too, said, hey man, you're a one-trick pony. You have one weapon. You have one weapon. Left hook, left hook, left hook. Everyone knows it. And Devin Haney still couldn't avoid it. It's like, it's literally like telling someone, I'm going to fight you. And what I'm going to do is when you try to hit me, I'm going to hit you with a left hook. And there is a defense for that, but he just finds it no matter what. It's so crazy.
So it might be better than people think.
Yeah, I think it shows. It's an interesting like study of like if you're exceptional at one thing, like the greatest ever, you can be really bad at a lot of other shit and make it very far.
Good for him.
Yeah.
30 mil, no joke. If it's 40, great, even better.
Yeah. I'd say it's anywhere in the range of 20 to 40. But if he really bet 2 million on himself and fucking made 12 million, that's insane. Anyway, content. What content you got?
NFL draft is tomorrow. One of my favorite days of the year.
Nice.
You get 32 new millionaires. Love seeing people change their lives. Yeah.
Like at the office, in the Young and Reckless, like true, like big heyday, we would, one of our people or two of them would be at the draft. And so you'd be watching the draft and then you'd see pictures from our marketing people of like the guy who just got drafted wearing a Young and Reckless hat. That was great.
Yeah. So Caleb Williams, USC, he's going number 1.
Nice.
And I think the rest is up in there.
I love it. I'll watch too because I love those. I really am a sucker for the moment. They do sometimes these little kind of backstories on the kids.
Yeah,
but like the moment where they get chosen, it's just like you're watching their dream come true. It's pretty.
So
crazy.
There's 3 telecasts. Think about this.
Right.
This is how big the NFL is, right? So ABC has a telecast. ESPN has a telecast. Then Pat McAfee has his own telecast.
Right. It's blockbuster. It's so great.
And Pat McAfee's on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I think. I don't know. But whatever, the non-linear television.
Yeah.
So the way they break it up is ABC just does the sob stories of every player. Like all the challenges and difficulties they've had.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
To get like the moms and everyone to cry.
Yeah. I'm watching
that. And then ESPN does the technical stuff like, oh, this guy's pass rush is.
Yeah, I'm on the
and
mom
then Pat
feed.
McAfee's going to be a circus.
Just in a tank
He's got
top
Bill
yelling.
Belichick.
Yeah.
I think he's wearing a suit.
Imagine if there was a video of like Drake getting the call that, he's signing a record deal. It's like, that's what it feels like. It feels like the moment.
Yeah. I mean, it changes your life. Think about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like the sisters and siblings, their lives are changed. The friends, the mother, the dad.
Right.
All of it.
It's amazing. It's so good. Okay. Thanks for the reminder.
So 3 different telecasts. You pick. I'm going Pat Mac.
I'm going mom.
You're going the mom
tears
ABC
in my
route.
eyes.
Yeah.
So proud of him. Yeah. I love those stories. You know what mine is The Gentleman on Netflix. The great show. Okay. It's I'll be honest, I realize I have a little bit of a I don't know, when people recommend shows on Netflix to me, like scripted shows, for some reason my first instinct is like, probably lame. I don't know why, but that's how I feel. And so people kept talking about The Gentleman. I kept thinking it was probably lame. I finally watched it. It is a really great show. Directed by Guy Ritchie.
Yep.
It's a great show. So that's it. Check it out.
Like it. Shout outs.
There you have it. We have a lot of shout outs. First one, oh, this is right in line with my thing here. First one's from Henry. Shout out to Ryan Garcia for trolling the world. See? Viral. Even made it to our shout outs. From Shivy, congratulations, Rara Smooth, on crushing the 420 sale on Stoned Genie. Proud of you for having that Mamba mentality and always finding ways to better the business. I know you are always and will forever grind. But take a moment to recognize how far you've come. Love you, husband. That's cute.
Yeah.
Congratulations. From Otto, hello, I'd like to shout out my fiance, Moana, who I will be marrying this coming Saturday, April 27th.
Wow, congratulations.
Congratulations. Moana, you inspire me each day to be a better person, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I knew you were the one when I heard you explain crack spread. Love to know that story. At a party 3 years ago when somebody asked why gas prices were so high. Oh, not what I thought. Thanks, Anand, for talking about crack spread, and to the rest of the group chat guys for keeping us entertained and informed each week. Oh, you're the one talking about crack spread.
Yeah, crack spread is like a oil trading thing.
Is Otto what?
Is Otto going to be listening to this pod while he's getting ready for his marriage?
Seems like it. Pretty big deal. Pretty big moment. Okay, from Michelle, shout out to John Turgeon for being honored with the USC Merit Alumni Award this Saturday. We missed you, D and Anand. Fight on. Also, shout out to Reggie for getting his Heisman back.
Yes, sir.
Woo! Fight on. And congrats to John. Sorry about your $20.
$20, but got honored at a big USC.
At least someone respects him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Jesus.
He's sticking to his story, by the way, in the chat.
Are they still?
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Yeah. From Vinay, one more shout out to my pitch and run family in NYC that killed it in London for the marathon. Wilson for helping teammate Nico cross the finish line. Queen Bee Karen for earning her 6th star, and my name, Kevin Weatherman. And my name Kevin Weatherman for killing. That can't be right. My name, Kevin Weatherman, for killing his PR and finishing sub 3:30. You are all inspirations in so many ways, and I couldn't be more proud and now jealous. 3:30 in a marathon? That's pretty fucking nuts, right?
That's fast.
That's not really get fast. It. I fucking hate running. I'm trying so hard to run more. And the thought of running a marathon in 3:30, it seems impossible.
You got to go to Pan Pacific Park and run.
Why?
Manny Pacquiao used to do it. You're a boxer.
Okay. That's fair enough.
You used to see him all the time.
I'm sold.
When he was training in LA.
I go to the Hollywood Reservoir and it's so nice and whatever, but I just don't get how I just can't. I mean, look, I do it fucking once every 3 weeks. So that's why I'm just not building any momentum. But
why don't you come to my place? We'll do a run. It's nice. Nice setting.
Yeah, I've actually ran in your neighborhood a lot during COVID. I drove over there.
Yeah, there's good hills too.
I'll do it, but you're gonna have to wait for me. You're gonna be disappointed.
That's fine. I'm not fast anymore. I just run to kind of get a sweat in.
Okay, we'll do it.
And then I have one last shout out.
Yep.
To Javier. He and the boys did a Are You Well video shoot at Erewhon. I posted it.
Great video.
Very appreciative of the boys. AreYouWell.ai. Soon come on Revolve.
That's big.
Thanks, Hav, for promoting.
Yeah, that's a great video. Great job, Hav. Great job on it. Revolve.
I was thinking, I actually want to run this by you. We could just do this on the pod.
Yep.
So you know that haircut dude that went around and saying like, I'll give you a free haircut?
Yeah.
And went viral on TikTok?
Vic the barber.
Vic Blends.
Yeah. Vic Blends.
Vic Blends. And he had Tom Brady.
Yeah.
This past week.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I get the boys to do Are You Well TikToks around the city and try to go viral? Taylor actually suggested this idea. What do you think about it?
That's a no-brainer. I mean, that's like absolutely zero downside. Yeah. And the upside is you could get, I mean, there's also a whole range of middle ground, but like the other side of the spectrum is a video could go viral and you could sell like, 10,000 sweatshirts in a day.
Yeah. I thought when Taylor suggested that, I was like thinking about Vic Blends, and then this guy's cutting Tom Brady's hair.
Right. I mean, what happened to all those guys is Vic Blends had a really good concept. He went around cutting people's hair and interviewing them. Then he signed to whatever agency, William Morris or whatever. And then they plug him into, it's like Bobby Altoff or whatever. They plug him into their people. Tom Brady wants to be on, cool with the TikTok crowd and the whatever. This guy has a good following. It's like a perfect thing, but we're like at that phase of TikTok. So what's happening now is all the people that built these big audiences are now signing to agencies and kind of cross-pollinating with like the real celebrities. And it's pretty cool. Vic Blends is great.
Yeah. So I need the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Because I can't do it. I'm too old. I'm too old to be going up to talking people. Yeah, we're all too old to be
on TikTok. But that's where the boys, yeah, get the boys out there.
Perfect.
Love it. Okay. Well, there you have it. Everyone have a great week. Thank you. Great rest of your week. Thank you for listening. We will talk to you on Sunday, hopefully with my parents, and we'll see you later.
Peace.